Ever seen Johnny Depp lugging a jar of, white stuff? Neither have I, but Amber Heard swears she did. Probably mistook it for her own snot. Anyway, who needs a Pirates 1 recap when we've got the sequel's glorious chaos? It's like a surprise attack, never reveal your strategy. And let's face it, anything Johnny touches turns to cinematic gold. This isn't just a movie, folks, it's a Johnny Depp extravaganza. We open on history's most villainous bunch, the British Empire, taking a break from global domination to arrest two lovebirds, Elizabeth Swann and Will Turner. Lord Beckett, that pompous windbag, nabs them for helping that pirate escape, Captain Jack Sparrow. Yes, that Captain Jack Sparrow. Will and Elizabeth are facing the hangman's noose, while Jack, on the Black Pearl, is, well, being Jack. Jack Sparrow, showing his crew a key. A drawing of a key, but how exciting is that? He needs it, you see, for something elsewhere. Meanwhile, the dreadful Lord Beckett's ordered Will to hunt down Jack and bring back his compass. This isn't just any compass, folks, it points to whatever its owner desires most. Beckett's dangling a pardon for Will and Elizabeth, plus royal letters, sounds fancy, right? Back on the Black Pearl, Jack's lamenting the lack of rum. Why is the rum always gone? He cries. But wait, enter Bootstrap Bill, Will Turner's dad, a cursed immortal, and let's just say he's not winning any beauty contests. He's Davy Jones's unfortunate lackey, here to remind Jack of a debt, a rather large debt. A black mark from Bootstrap means the Kraken's coming. Jack's panicked, utterly and hilariously panicked. Fair enough, not everyone wants to die. Our hero springs into action, jolting his crew awake, landlubbers, ahoy! Full speed ahead. Meanwhile, Jack's hat, a rogue chapeau, gets a whole new meaning of high seas adventure, as some hapless fishermen discover it, and promptly become fish food. Will's on the hunt, following a trail as unreliable as a drunken parrot, and he finds the Black Pearl, deserted. But the island holds a surprise, a not-so-friendly welcome committee of cannibals. Bam! He's out cold. The fight's back on the menu, folks. Will's dragged before their leader, and it's Jack. Talk about a twist. Will's desperate plea for the compass? Forgotten amidst the looming threat of a very hungry tribe. It turns out the cannibals are even more ruthless than we imagined. They're about to turn their leader into lunch and Jack might be next. And just when things couldn't get crazier, Elizabeth's powerful father enters the scene. Governor's pardon, Elizabeth's free. But hold on to your hats, folks, because Beckett's boys are waiting at the docks. Surprise! Elizabeth's vanished. She's pulled a fast one, holding Beckett himself at gunpoint. The king's pardon, signed, sealed, and delivered, by Beckett himself. The villain's surprisingly unfazed, though, reminding Lizzie she still owes him Jack's compass. Meanwhile, on a tropical island, our pal Jack's facing a less than pleasant future, cannibal barbecue. Unless, of course, he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. Will and the Black Pearl crew are in a hanging cage, swinging for their lives, literally. A thrilling cliffside climb ensues, with a few unfortunate snake encounters, and a rather dramatic end for some of the crew. But just as Jack's about to become sizzle-worthy, a cannibal spots the trouble and bam, Sparrow's sizzling is delayed. Hold on to your hats, folks, because things are about to get wild. Jack Sparrow, ever the nimble scamp, swings into action, escaping a fiery cannibal cookout. Our heroes tumble down a hill in a runaway cage, dodging a rain of angry arrows as they make a daring river escape. Jack, defying gravity and common sense, pole vaults across a chasm, bouncing off conveniently placed bridges, of course. It's a full-on, chaotic chase back to the Black Pearl, with a horde of very unhappy cannibals hot on their tails. A meme was born that day, I tell ya. Everyone escapes, few, but Jack, ever cautious, mostly, tells Gibbs to ease off on the open ocean. That cursed crack is still a worry. Will Turner shows up, mission briefing in tow. He needs the compass to save Elizabeth. A deal is struck, the compass for the key. And off they sail, upriver to Tia Delma's, unique abode. This mysterious priestess, looking suspiciously like Amber Heard, decided to channel her inner villain. And that's where we find out the key fits. A chest. And inside, Davy Jones's heart. The same Davy Jones hunting Jack Sparrow. Jack needs that chest to dodge a huge debt, but the key? stuck with Davy. And get this, Jack's trusty compass is useless. Turns out, Captain Jack's got a serious case of, I don't know what I want it is. Teardama spots the black spot on Jack's hand. Davy Jones is only allowed on land once a decade. Landlubber Jack's safe. Then, a jar of dirt. Don't worry, it's not what you think. They're off to find the Flying Dutchman, Davy's creepy ship. Will finds some sailors, wrong ship. The real Flying Dutchman is still out there. A colossal kraken bursts from the ocean depths, its crew, a motley bunch of mythical maniacs. They snatch our survivors, and then boom, Davy Jones himself, a presence so intense it could curdle milk. He gives the poor souls a choice, death, or a century of servitude. Some choose oblivion, others, well, they're now working off a serious debt. Will Turner spills the beans about Jack Sparrow, and poof, Davy Jones is on the Black Pearl faster than you can say, barnacles. Turns out, Jack owes Davy a huge favor, a century of service for saving the pearl, a debt Jack conveniently forgot. Now, Davy's demanding 100 souls in 3 days, or Jack's a goner. Will's along for the ride, naturally. So, it's full steam ahead to Tortuga, the pirates' playground, to round up some unfortunate souls, including a certain Commodore Norrington. A former Commodore, fired for failing to catch Jack Sparrow. Now he's just grumpy old Bob, half drunk, half furious. Best part ever. Jack, ever the brave or foolhardy soul, tries to escape, prompting a magnificent melee. James gets chucked in the mud, poetic justice. Then, bam, Elizabeth shows up. Flashback, she was engaged to this goon. Before Will and Jack and the Flying Dutchman, naturally. Bootstraps Joe drops, his son, Will, is there. A minor mishap? Whip time. Turns out, Will's bootstraps kid. Bad move revealing that, mate. Davy Jones, what a cruel, tentacled tyrant. He forces Bootstrap to whip his own son. Ouch. Bootstrap's back, and there's gonna be some serious father-son bonding. Will gets the key, and the lowdown, stab Davy Jones' heart, become captain. Meanwhile, in Tortuga, Elizabeth and Jack team up. Jack spills the beans about Davy Jones' locker, and his heart. Elizabeth's only after Will, so Jack whips out his magic compass, the ultimate chick magnet. I really need one of those. Anyway, onto the Dutchman. Will sneaks aboard, dodges Davy Jones' grumpy tentacles, grabs the key, escapes with pops. Bootstrap hands over the knife. Will promises to free his dad by stabbing Davy Jones' heart, and then, bam. Black Pearl, Jack and Elizabeth are hatching a plan. James eavesdrops, and the game is on. Ahoy, mateys. Captain Jack Sparrow's back, and this time he's after Davy Jones's locker, literally. Jones, realizing his heart's in mortal danger, makes a beeline for Isla Cruces, where the cursed chest is hidden. Jack, ever the charmer, tries his luck with Elizabeth, but she's wiser than a kraken. They land, dig, and strike gold, a huge chest. Letters, a smaller chest, and the thump 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 of Davy Jones' heart. Just when things get interesting, Will Turner shows up, plants one on Elizabeth, and the jealousy is thicker than pea soup. Will's about to strike the killing blow, but Jack stops him. Why? Because Jack's got a wicked plan involving blackmail. Hold on to your hats, mateys. Davy Jones needs his heart back, James wants knighthood, and Jack just wants, well, Jack wants something. They're all after that magical chest, leading to a three-way brawl for the ages. Elizabeth screaming like a banshee, adding to the chaos as two sneaky pirates abscond with the prize. Then, bam, Davy Jones' crew arrives. Our heroes fight on towers, walls, even inside a giant wheel. It's a whirling dervish of swordplay, the key changing hands faster than a drunken sailor. Finally, Jack, always Jack, snatches the key, uses the distraction of Davy Jones' men chasing the other two pirates, cracks open the chest, grabs the beating heart, and sails off victorious. In his dirt jar, Elizabeth and James, bam, show up, right in the middle of all the chaos. Seriously, this crew gets distracted by everything. James snags the king's pardon, spots the dirt jar. What's he gonna do with that? He creates a brilliant diversion, luring the Dutchman's crew away so the Black Pearl can make a run for it. He leaves Davy Jones's goons to have at it. Out to sea they go, only to be met by Davy Jones himself. Maniacal laughter ensues, the ultimate villain. Jack, ever the comedian, whips out his jar of happiness. It's dirt, amber. Not cocaine, he bellows, mocking Davy Jones. Cannon fire explodes. But the Black Pearl, fastest ship afloat, she outruns the Dutchman and escapes Davy Jones's wrath. Release the Kraken. The Kraken attacks. Jack's precious dirt jar shatters. Turns out, happiness isn't in a jar, who knew? The crew, in a move of sheer, drunken brilliance, mixes gunpowder and rum. It's a pirate party, with explosives. They hoist the powder high as chaos reigns. Elizabeth's about to shoot, but loses her rifle. Just then, Jack, a total badass, he swoops in, fires, and boom. Kraken's wounded, but don't worry, this isn't the end of this tentacle terror. They abandon ship, leaving poor Jack heartbroken over his beloved Black Pearl. But wait, Elizabeth realizes the Kraken's after Jack. A kiss and handcuffs to the mast later, and bam! She leaves him to a watery demise. It's almost as dramatic as Depp's divorce, really. He escapes, naturally. Hold on to your hats, mateys. Jack Sparrow, facing the Kraken, a colossal beast, and he charges in headfirst. The best pirate ever. The crew's aghast, watching their beloved Black Pearl get crushed. Meanwhile, Davy Jones, smug as a bug in a rug, thinks his death settled, opens his chest, only to find it empty. Talk about a plot twist. James, smooth as silk, slithers to Lord Beckett, pardons in hand, presenting a souvenir, Davy Jones's heart. The crew's heartbroken, naturally, but Tia Dilma offers a lifeline, bring back Jack. But they need a captain, and guess who? Barbossa, the villain's back. Prepare for more swashbuckling mayhem.